let's talk a little bit about using styles, paragraph styles, because this is going to be a really handy thing. So we're going to create a text box over here first. So if you click on your T or hit T on your keyboard, and then we're going to create a text box over here. So we need like a little title here for this section. So this is customer testimonials. So we can resize our text box once we get this in here. So here is a little tip for you for when you're trying to, let's see, what's a good word for it? When you want to use the styles and kind of saving yourself a little bit of hassle, I guess I should say. So type in customer, and then instead of hitting shift, you're going to hit, instead of hitting enter, you're going to hit shift and enter. This gives you what is called a soft return. A hard return is when you just hit enter or return. So if you hit enter and return, let me zoom into this because you can kind of see they call it the invisibles, these little things that are showing up in here. You can see I'm actually kind of creating some spaces here. So it's a little arrow with a hook on it, or an angle. This is, if you ever see that, that's a soft return. These little dots indicate spaces between something. Okay, so you can see down here, Shawneen, space, H period, space, hard return. And then down here, you just see where the program has returned for you, and then there's a hard return there. So when you're using styles, in this case, we want to use the same style on both customer, and we're going to type in testimonials. Whoops, that's an accident. And because we have a soft return, our style is going to show up on both of these without having to select the whole thing. So let's go up to window. I don't think I have it open already. And then we'll go to styles, and then we're going to go to paragraph styles. So a lot of programs have this. If you are very familiar with Word or PowerPoint or something, you know that they have paragraph styles, and they actually kind of stink. I hate the way they work. And once you work with InDesign a little bit, I think you will probably agree with me. These are so much easier to control in InDesign. So I'm just going to select on one of these words because I have a soft return. And then I've got all these set. These are all the different paragraph styles that are in this document. So you can kind of see the different names that are given here. So body refers to body copy, or just like the regular text that you're going to read. So like probably this text underneath her name, the text over here on the other page, that's kind of the text that you're always reading. And then you can do other kinds of adjustments on it, but use these kind of as your basic. You can name these whatever you want. You can change the names of this. So you can see if I click on body, this changed to that smaller text. Body left, body 2, maybe I have caption 1, head, and you can see there's all these things that are connected in, that are created inside here. So we're going to go to testimonials because that's what this is. And you can see part of the testimonials style is that it's right aligned. So now that we're on that, we're going to click on the move tool, and we're just going to fix our text box here because unless you made yours big enough, you might not need to do that. I'm going to line these up within the columns, just like this paragraph box is below. And you can see there's this little line here. This probably means that I want the bottom of the word testimonials actually on that particular line. That's usually how you use these. You, of course, can use them however, whatever makes sense for you. But if you need someone else to like understand what you're doing, then maybe do it this way. All right, so if I were to take customer testimonials, whoops, wrong way. I'm going to delete the soft return and put in a hard return. Now, remember, I was just kind of, my cursor was in the word testimonials when I changed both of these using the soft return. So now I've got a hard return there, and I'm going to actually change, I think I want this to be sidebar headline instead. And you can see what happens when you have a hard return. It actually just makes, it's a hard break. So if you think about it, it's like a deliberate break that you would use when you want different styles on each. And so then I'm just gonna go back to testimonials, and that's how you do that. If you double click in testimonials, it should open your paragraph style options. And so these are all the options that you have. At this point, I think focus on basic character formats. So this will put whatever font you're using and the style that you want for the testimonial header. This is probably the main thing that I want you to look at. You can possibly indents and spacing, but really the basic formats, probably character color. That might be the other thing that you use. So right now it's black. If I wanted it to be red or pink, magenta, if I do okay, now you can see it changed that. And so everywhere that the testimonials style is used, it's going to change. So these are great for when you're doing long format, because if I have, oops, I don't want to do that. So let's say I've got body copy over here. So this is like the main body copy. My dog is being a pill right now. Hi. She wants attention. So here's my main body copy. If I decide, or like say my art director comes in and goes, I don't really like this font in here. Can we change that? I can double click in body copy, do basic character formats, and maybe they just want it a little bit smaller or the leading a little bit tighter. So maybe 8 point would be really small to try and read. And then maybe we do leading a little bit smaller. And then we say, we can do preview here so you can kind of see what it does. This is helpful. But anywhere that the body style is on text, it will automatically make all these changes for you, which is super helpful on long documents, as I'm sure you can imagine. So if you're doing like a paper for your teacher and it's 5 pages, say, and you've got body copy and you've got other things going on, and then you decide, I actually need it to be 6 pages, so maybe I'm going to like bump up my font just a little bit or change it to something that's a little rounder so that it looks like it's filling up more space. You could, if you've used paragraph styles, you can change that here and it'll change the entire thing. Of course, then you have to go back through and just double check that you don't have any text that's not showing. All right. Another thing I wanted to show you that is newish to this, you can not only resize this frame, but I am learning that you can change the shape of this. So you can click on, I think you have to get on the actual, let's zoom in, that was too much zooming. All right, Command 0. We'll just click it. Sometimes it's a little more controllable if your computer's being weird. you should be able to select this anchor point. I bet you have to get the direct selection tool. Sorry, I've got the wrong tool. And you select this anchor point or this one because we've already dragged this down. So select this anchor point. Oops, I gotta wait until that. Come on, baby. And then you can drag it so that you get this kind of funky corner. Oops. So that your text will kind of wrap around this corner. So that's kind of a fun tool. Give you a little flexibility with that. And then obviously you've got some extra text going on here, so you'd have to figure out what you're going to do with that. All right, so let's go back over to our testimonials. And remember we talked about creating columns and the different things within the text box. So let's say this would make more sense if this was actually, maybe we want these things all in their own column. So remember it's Command or Control B, as in boy. And then we're going to do 3 columns. All right, and so those are the right width. And we can see that the column in our thing matches the column in the background there. All right, so we can just go okay. And then we're just going to mess around with the bottom and try and get all of these things to pop up in the correct way. So if you end up with a situation like that, it's totally okay to maybe do a soft return here and pop that over here. So now it's up at the top, but we have a little bit extra here. This is where you just start playing around until you get that to work. Another option here, because we've got so much extra text there, I'm gonna, whoops, nope, I want to delete the soft return. You can also right click on here and tell Jeff, we're going to do insert a break character. So I right clicked on that and I get all of these options of what I can do with this text. So I'm going to insert break character and I'm going to do a column break. And when I put that in, it's going to put Jeff in that column. And then no matter how much I move this, it's going to pop Jeff over to a secondary column. And whoops, let's go back to the T. And then we'll just do that with Sylvia here too. We're going to click in front of the S on her name. We're going to right click and then go to insert break character and do column break. And it's going to push her over there. So then you have this nice kind of even, nicely top aligned, right? Because that's what we want. We want things to be lined up. I think that will work for now. And then let's talk about graphics frames in just a moment.